Today we are making some seitan turkey as well as a quick and easy gravy, perfect for the holidays or any day. And if you saw my vegan turkey slices I posted as a short a while back, you might recognize this recipe as it's basically the same, except we're going to be adding a glaze for a crispy skin as well as the aforementioned gravy as well. So let's make a quick and easy seitan. To a food processor, we're going to crumble in a 1 pound block of super firm tofu, the kind that is vacuum sealed and doesn't need pressing. If you can't find super firm, just press some extra firm as much as you can to get rid of the water. And then once our tofu is crumbled, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of tapioca starch as well as 2 tablespoons of a mushroom seasoning. Or if you can't get your hands on that stuff, just add 2 more tablespoons of nutritional yeast to the 1/4 cup we are putting in now. Next is a 1/2 teaspoon each of onion and garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of MSG or 1 teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, which helps to get rid of the funky aftertaste that some of us experience with seitan. Then 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke and 1 tablespoon of some kind of vegan chicken bouillon paste or powder, though you can totally use veggie bouillon too. 2 tablespoons of a neutral tasting oil and 1/2 cup of water. Next, process that until it's well mixed and resembles hummus. Taste and adjust it for seasoning, and now we need to get some vital wheat gluten, which is what's going to bring this all together. Get 180 grams or 1.5 cups of it, and I do recommend weighing it out if possible. Then we'll add that in and blend it and knead it into a dough. And depending on your food processor, you might need to do this in batches. And people have asked me if they can do this in a blender, and I really don't think a blender will be able to do this since the blade is so small and the blender is too tall. You could blend the wet ingredients and then add the vital wheat gluten and knead by hand, but it's going to take a while. You can also use a stand mixer if you have one. Regardless of how you do it, you want to knead the dough until it's stretchy and doesn't rip apart right away. It should look pretty much something like this. And now we're going to form that into a ball and let it rest. And while it rests, we can put together a quick turkey rub. You can use any store-bought rub or seasoning alike, but if you want to whip up a homemade rub, I'll have a recipe for that in the blog post. Now let's oil up our seitan loaf, and then we're going to rub on some of our rub. And make sure to cover the whole thing, and once it's nice and coated, get some heavy duty foil and wrap it as tightly as you can. You can also use some parchment paper first or cheesecloth, but no matter what, wrap it as tightly as you can so the seitan doesn't puff up and get spongy. Once our seitan is wrapped up like a burrito, let's add it to a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for 1 hour and 5 minutes. I like to rotate the seitan every 15 minutes or so it cooks more evenly. After the seitan is fully cooked, let it rest to cool and then add it to the fridge overnight. And this step really helps with the final texture of the seitan, so don't skip it. The next day, we're going to unwrap our seitan, and you can totally reuse the foil if you want to as well. Now for our crispy and tasty skin, we're going to need to make a glaze. So in a saucepan over medium heat, let's melt 1/4 cup of vegan butter, and then once it's melted, we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon of vegan what's this here sauce, whisk that up, and then add in a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. And now all we need to do is reduce this down until it's nice and thick. And I'd say for about 5 to 8 minutes. We really want it thick so it sticks to the seitan and doesn't just melt into liquid right away. After a few tests, I realized that we want it to be almost as thick as jelly or jam. So to a parchment-lined baking sheet, we'll add our seitan loaf and brush on a nice layer of our thick glaze. Really make sure you get it all over the top and sides. Don't worry about the bottom for now. And then next, we're going to bake it for 8 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're going to take it out, rotate it 180 degrees, and brush the bottom side, which is now the top side. Repeat that step 2 more times, and now you'll have a nice thick glaze on your seitan roast. And just like non-vegan turkey, our seitan turkey is vastly improved with some gravy. And the good news is I have a quick and easy gravy recipe for you. We're going to want to melt another 1/4 cup of vegan butter, then whisk in 4 tablespoons of flour, 1 tablespoon at a time. And once all the flour has been whisked in, let that cook off the raw flour for a minute, and then we're going to add in 2.5 cups of vegan chicken stock or veggie stock. Add about a 1/2 cup or so at a time and whisk until smooth. Then add in a 1/2 cup and repeat this until all the broth has been incorporated. For some more umami, we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of the mushroom seasoning or nutritional yeast, as well as 1 teaspoon of vegan Worcestershire. For color and a little flavor, we can add 1 teaspoon of browning sauce like Kitchen Bouquet or Gravy Master. Whisk that in and taste for seasoning, and now we just need to simmer this until it's reduced and thickened to our desired consistency, which for me took about 8 to 10 minutes or so. And once your gravy is looking and tasting good, we can carve up our vegan turkey and serve it with some mashed potatoes, which I also have a recipe for on the blog. And go ahead and serve this up with anything you like, whether it's a holiday or a Tuesday. And of course, you can make sandwiches with it too, whatever you like. So I really do hope you all try this one out. For other holiday recipes, check out this playlist right here. And until then, I'll see you all next time.